Hey, this is Dr. Amanda from StraightSmile Solutions. I wanted to talk to you a little bit more today about creating content for your website. And I know a lot of times people just default to their website developer to do this for them, but that's a huge mistake because that gives you the same verbiage and everything, basically maybe slightly different images, same different layout, different colors, the same verbiage as many of your other competitors. And it doesn't give you unique content, which makes it difficult for people to find you. And patients can tell, when it's your voice, your passion, your content versus something you just purchased. So my suggestion is that you create KPI or key performance indicators for yourself and your teams to create new content on a weekly basis. And if you're still shut down right now because of the corona, you have a lot of free time to do this. This is the perfect time to be doing this. So for example, I'm just going to give you little tips. Today we're going to be talking about Shutterstock, which is similar to Getty Images and some of these other image purchasing programs that are out there. Remember, any images that you put on your website need to either be your own images, and if you're using patient images or anything that has PHI in it, of course you need to get a release from the patient, or you can use what I call stock images. And stock images can be purchased from companies. For example, I use Shutterstock. There are other ones that are out there. And the cool thing is there are literally millions of different images out there, and it's pretty easy to sort for them. I have a plan for my images that I purchase. I get 10 images per month. And I think I pay like maybe 200 or 300 a year for that. It's more expensive to pay per image, much more expensive than to just have a plan. It's a use it or lose it plan. So by the end of the month, once it rolls into the new month, I get 10 more images and I lose whatever I didn't use. It doesn't roll over. So you need to make sure it actually kind of encourages you to create the content because you're like, oh man, I got 5 more images to use this month. I got to do something. So for example, I'm just putting an example. Let's say you were creating content about implants. You can go ahead, type that in there, and there is 621 pages of pictures of implants that you can use. So remember, if you've never gotten caught, when I first had a website, I'm talking like 15, 17 years ago. My very first website, I didn't understand that. So I just was like, oh, that's a nice image. And I just quote unquote borrowed it from somewhere. And I guess even back then, back in the early 2000s, they were doing reverse image searches and I got busted. So, and I didn't do it maliciously. I just didn't really understand, what that means, So ended up having to pay a major penalty fee to some attorney for a couple of $1,000s for that mistake, And ever since then, I'm extremely conscious to make sure that I can use the images that I use. So yeah, you can put in, of course, more keywords in this and not have 621 pages to look for, but implant molar, titanium implant, whatever you want to do. But this is a great way until you can create your own library of images from your own patients with releases. And if you have the release standard on your paperwork, this is going to make your life a heck of a lot easier. Now, of course, if I'm putting in patient information, I'm always going to, or a patient's face or anything like that, I'm always going to want to just be courteous and let the patient know that even though they've signed the release, sometimes people don't realize what they signed. And there's nothing that ticks off patients more than if they're on your Instagram and they see, their teeth or something like that. And maybe it's nice. It's one thing if it's a nice smile, but it's another thing if you're showing like a broken tooth and then a fixed tooth. And that's a little bit embarrassing, because that's a digital thumbprint for life for that person. So I would definitely be courteous and let your patient know that you're going to be doing that and just ask if that's okay. And a lot of times they'll want to look at it first. So, don't just rely on the signature because that's a great way to, although you won't get in trouble, it's a great way to cause a patient to be upset at you. So I would always, sometimes it's just easier is what I'm trying to say, to use stock images, especially if it's something kind of gross or embarrassing or anything like that. So anyways, anything you can think of is probably in here. So I really very rarely not found something I'm looking for. It may not be exactly what I wanted, but it also gives me kind of inspiration as to what type of content I can create that would be really, really unique. So hopefully that'll help you. Again, this is only a couple $100s per year. I get 120 images per year. And of course, the bigger your plan is, the cheaper it is per picture. So I would definitely recommend it. All right. Hope that helped you. Have a great day. And as always, don't hesitate to bring those questions to straightsmilesolutions.com and I'll be glad to answer them. And we are your one-stop shop for helping you launch and scale orthodontics in your practice. Take care.